All right, let's talk about a game that's an absolute legend. But probably not for the reasons you'd think. We're not talking polished graphics or some epic story. Nope. We're talking about a game that's famous for being a spectacular, glorious, and hilarious mess.
And look at this. Right away, you know this isn't going to be your standard serious game review. The title card itself is a meme. It perfectly sets the tone for the absolute absurdity we're about to dive into. This is a journey into pure, beautiful chaos.
I mean, this quote just says it all, doesn't it? It perfectly captures what it feels like to play this game from the literal first second. Forget a tutorial, forget a gentle learning curve. This game's goal is basically to throw you into total pandemonium as fast as it possibly can.
So, the unforgiving welcome. Let's talk about your first 5 seconds. Seriously, your first few moments in this world, they're a real trial by fire. Or, maybe more like a trial by completely random, insane traffic.
Every single player starts with the same simple thought. You want to drive peacefully. You see that open road, you pull out your bike, and you think, all right, let's just have a nice, calm drive, maybe see the sights. I mean, the game has driving in the title, so that's a pretty reasonable hope, right?
Well, yeah, you'd be completely wrong. The reality hits you, and I mean that literally. As you can see, the expectation of a nice drive gets shattered by the reality of the game's NPCs. These non-player characters, I swear, their only mission is to cause as much chaos as possible. They'll swerve right into you, they'll just wander in front of your bike, it's like you're invisible to them.
Okay, so we've got anarchy on the roads, but listen, the chaos isn't just about the other cars on the road. Oh no, the real main character of this story is the bike you're riding. This is where the game's physics just completely give up and things get really wild.
And I love this because the community has totally reframed it. It's not a bug, it's a feature. They've nicknamed it after a concept of frugal, clever innovation. And what that means in the game is that your bike has acceleration that just defies all logic. It basically turns a simple ride into an uncontrollable rocket launch.
And I'm not exaggerating here. Look at that number. We're talking about hitting 300 kilometers per hour, like in the blink of an eye. When you're going that fast, you're not even driving anymore. You're just holding on for dear life, which, it turns out, is the perfect setup for the game's most legendary glitch.
So now we're at the point of defying all physics, where gravity is just a suggestion. What do you think happens when you mix that insane speed with an environment that's, let's be honest, barely holding itself together? Well, players figured out you can break the game in the most amazing ways. The physics engine basically becomes your personal playground.
And players have seriously turned this into a science. They call it the Iron Man maneuver, and it's awesome. It's a simple 4-step process. Step 1, you find a speed bump. Step 2, you hit it at max speed. Step 3, you achieve liftoff. And step 4, well, you become Iron Man. You don't just get a little air, you ascend.
And yeah, this quote just nails it. That's exactly what it feels like. For a few amazing seconds, you are literally soaring over the city. You're like a superhero, but your only power is broken physics. And it's these moments that take the game from just a buggy mess to something that's pure, hilarious, unscripted fun.
Okay, so you'd think flying through the air on a motorcycle would be the absolute peak of chaos, right? But there's actually one more ingredient we need to add to this recipe for disaster to reach the game's true final form. So, what happens when the police decide to join the party? And here it is, the grand finale of chaos, the police chase. Because, of course, the police in this game don't play by any normal rules. You'll just be minding your own business, and suddenly, for no reason at all, you're in a high-speed chase. It just takes the mayhem to a completely different level.
The community basically has this running joke about the police AI's attitude. It's like their motto is, "Today I will catch you no matter what." And they are absolutely relentless. They literally spawn out of thin air and come after you with this single-minded obsession that just adds so much more fuel to the fire. And this is the punchline. This is the moment it all comes together. The insane speed, the clueless NPCs, the unstoppable police, and those barely there physics, they all collide. You finally hit a wall, and your character just gets launched across the map in this beautiful slow-motion ragdoll ballet. It's perfect. Gravity has officially left the chat.
So, when you boil it all down, what are we left with? It's this: pure chaos. And that's the most important takeaway here. The glitches, the broken physics, the awful AI, they're not mistakes. They are the game.
The goal isn't driving. It's about creating, surviving, and just laughing at the absurdity of it all. That's the real reward.
Which brings us to a really interesting question, doesn't it? Is this thing a broken game, or is it a perfect chaos simulator? You know, in an industry that's so often obsessed with polish and realism, maybe, just maybe, the most fun you can have is in a game that just throws the entire rulebook out the window. So what really makes a game good? Maybe it's not about perfect code, but about the perfect storm of chaos it lets you create.